Good evening and welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. My name is April Butler with Texas Parks and Wildlife. Please note that a Spanish translation of this presentation is available on the website. We are excited that you are here to learn about the expansion of Enchanted Rock and would like to share your thoughts and feedback to help us create a vision for the park's future. The acquisition and development of the new land to expand Enchanted Rock directly aligns with our mission's goals of providing conservation and recreational opportunities for the public. Our agenda for this evening is to discuss the need for more state park land, provide an overview of the Centennial Fund, walk through our acquisition and development strategy, introduce our project team, provide site context, explain what a public use plan is, update you all on where we are in the process. We'll learn more about the site, explain our project goals, then we'll walk through a virtual hike, and then share a preliminary concept plan for discussion. I would like to share our main contacts for this project. Again, my name is April Butler, and I serve as the development coordinator. I am relatively new to the agency, but my background is in park planning and development. Next is Maria Malone, our Centennial Park Planner, who will be speaking shortly. And of course, the most important contact is Doug Cochran, Enchanted Rock's superintendent. Next, Maria will speak on the need for more state parkland and provide an overview of the Centennial Fund.
Thank you, April. Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Malone, and I am the Centennial Park Planner. I have been with the agency for a number of years, but am so excited to step into this new role. As you may or may not know, there is a real need for additional parkland in the state of Texas. You see that red dot on the screen? That's Travis County. If you combine the total acreage of all our state parks, it will fit inside that county, and half of that is Big Bend Ranch State Park. I was shocked when I heard this statistic. Clearly, we have some work to do. Land is being fragmented at an exponential rate. Roughly 1,000 acres of rural land, or the equivalent of a McKinney Falls State Park, is lost to development every day. Market values are increasing rapidly, and we as the state are expected to pay a fair market value for these properties, not some exorbitant amount. Put all that together, and the time to buy land is now. That brings us to the Centennial Parks Conservation Fund. First of all, I want to say thank you, Texans. This endowment was passed with overwhelming support from the voters in 2023, so without all of you, we would not be here today. Since this is an endowment, we are only able to spend the interest on that billion-dollar fund, so we will be adding parks for generations to come. Enchanted Rock State Natural Area is one of 4 projects currently being developed with this fund. That means we must work to balance the needs and priorities of all 4 properties when considering what to include in this park. With this new fund also comes a timeline. We want to get Texans out on these parks as soon as possible, so within 12 months of acquisition, we are offering guided public access. At Enchanted Rock, this is happening right now. This looks like special events, public hunts, and guided hikes on the expansion, which some of you may have already joined us for. Within 18 months of closing, we will be offering facilitated public day use. At Enchanted Rock, this will be available in July of 2026, so right around the corner. You will have access to everything currently at the SNA, plus day use opportunities on the new acquisition. There will be 2 ways to access the new property, either by hiking from the existing property or by making an online reservation and receiving a gate code to park at the new trailhead. This trailhead will have a vault toilet and will send you out to several hiking destinations utilizing the existing ranch road network. Within 48 months of closing, the park will be fully opened. As you will hear more about later, we will be reimagining some of the existing facilities to develop this property into one cohesive park. Building on the day use opportunities in the initial opening, we will be adding an array of overnight opportunities, like tent camping, mini cabins, or screen shelters. We will also be making improvements to the roads, utilities, and back-of-house facilities to support a full public use. The Centennial Parks Conservation Fund is just one of the tools in our tool belt. As you can see here, the red stars represent the 4 properties that are being developed with this fund. We are also developing new parks using the sporting goods sales tax, like Palo Pinto in the DFW area or Powderhorn down on the coast. In addition to new parks, we are also making improvements to our existing parks, like the new headquarters at Inks Lake, or expanding properties such as Caprock Canyons or Lake Brownwood State Parks. So when a property comes to us, how do we decide it would make a good state park? Well, we have 6 mission-critical categories that we use to evaluate each property. The first is high resource value. We want to ensure that the resources on the property are something of statewide significance. At Enchanted Rock, that looks like the rich cultural history found across the site. Next, we look for a strategic location. We want to make parks where the people are. So think the Texas Triangle, the Rio Grande Valley, East Texas, and those destination parks where people will want to travel to. We also look at the proximity to some of our most loved parks, like Enchanted Rock, and how we can build on those experiences. Then we look at recreational value. Just because a property would be suitable for conservation does not mean it necessarily makes a good state park. We want to know there are plenty of opportunities for our visitors to safely interact with and enjoy the outdoors. Next, we look at economic and development feasibility. We want to guarantee the property could actually be operated as a state park. For example, do we have road access to bring the public to the property? After that, we look at legal considerations. In other words, is this fish good to eat? Or was there some land use in the past that may make it not suitable for a state park? And finally, we look at stakeholder support. It's very important that both the local community as well as our conservation partners support the development of a property into a state park. So here you see a quintessential state parks moment, a family enjoying swimming at Inks Lake State Park. You might be asking yourself, what did they build here? You don't see any roads, there's no headquarters or cabins, but there's a lot that goes into a state park that may not be immediately apparent. Building a new park is like building a small city from scratch. These sites are remote, so the existing utilities often aren't suitable for public use. While we do have existing ranch roads, we need to improve these to provide safe public access and meet emergency response needs. We also have to build all the components necessary for a state park to function, like those day use, overnight, and operational facilities. At Enchanted Rock, we are determining how to best reuse the existing facilities to fit the vision for the whole park, as well as building brand new facilities to support those. Lastly, we want to create an inclusive and expansive trail network, whether that is hiking, biking, interpretive, or more. Building a city takes a great team. Here at Texas Parks and Wildlife, we are lucky to have a wide range of experts that work with us, from architects and engineers to biologists and archaeologists. We also work with outside entities, such as the counties and utility providers, to develop the best park possible. For this project, we have also contracted an external firm to lead the design of our public use plan. Tin Ike, who you will hear from shortly, is the prime consultant on this project. They built an amazing team full of knowledge on everything from accessibility to sustainability. Working with them has been such a pleasure, and we are so excited to show you our early concepts. And with that, I will pass it to Sebastian from Cultural Strategies.
We have begun our first round of public engagement, starting with meetings in Fredericksburg and Austin to get feedback from you. We will take the information gathered from the in-person meetings and from the online survey and incorporate that into a draft public use plan that will be presented at the second round of public meetings later in the spring. The dates for these are not set yet, but they will take place in Llano and San Antonio. Feedback from those meetings will be incorporated into the final public use plan, which will be shared with the public this summer. I'm Michael Sapos with the Tin Ike Landscape Architects, and we're honored and excited to be working on the Enchanted Rock expansion project. Enchanted Rock State Natural Area is located between Fredericksburg and Llano, about 2 hours west of Austin. This map illustrates the extents of the new acquisitions. The existing state natural area is around 1,600 acres. The state acquired a 630-acre tract to the south of the park and an over 3,000-acre property to the north, tripling the size of the park. Our firm is working on developing a public use plan for this newly expanded park. Well, what exactly does that mean? A public use plan is a document that helps to guide future activities, resource allocation, and land management. For example, we know that we will want to identify locations for day use activities like picnicking, restroom facilities, and notable hiking destinations. We will also include locations for overnight use, such as primitive campsites or cabins. The plan will also guide the network of roads and trails that will provide access to all the facilities. It will take into consideration the protection of the site's existing cultural and natural resources, like sensitive ecosystems and archaeological sites. And lastly, it will address the needs of the visitors, things like parking, accessibility, programming, and utilities. The development of the public use plan is an in-depth process, and much has already been completed to get where we are today. Last January, the 10IKE team met with Texas Parks and Wildlife for an all-day visioning session to talk about the opportunities and constraints of the project and to set goals for its development. Our design team has conducted multiple site visits to really get to know all of the properties. We've met with TPWD teams to learn about their needs, and we've conducted research into the property using tools like GIS and archaeological surveys. We're excited to share with you some of what we have learned so far about the existing site and the new acquisitions. But first, it's important to point out that Enchanted Rock is a state natural area, which is a different designation from a state park. A state natural area is land protected to preserve its unique ecosystems, geology, and history. Enchanted Rock is located in the Edwards Plateau ecoregion of Texas. It has a semi-arid climate and is distinct in that it's a gold tier status international dark sky park, which makes it a fantastic spot for stargazing. The granite dome represents a geologic formation called a batholith, and it sits 425 feet above Sandy Creek. It is home to fragile, unique ecosystems like the vernal pools at the summit of the rock that are the habitat of fairy shrimp. The site's hydrology is a product of its dramatic topography and the presence of Sandy Creek, which cuts through the park and runs along the western edge of the north property. As we consider development within the new property, it's important for us to understand how water is moving through the site and what areas are within flood zones. The site is also host to an extremely rich cultural history. Our archaeological consultant, Acacia, has been performing archaeological surveys of the new properties and has discovered evidence of prehistoric activities, including middens and mortars in the bedrock. There is also some evidence that the Pinta Trail, a trade route used by indigenous peoples and early Texas settlers through the 19th century, cuts through the north property. There is also a historic German stone house on the south property that helps tell the story of German settlement in the area. The existing Enchanted Rock State Natural Area is one of the most beloved parks in the state system and is extremely popular for visitors from the Austin and San Antonio areas. The park offers overnight camping options, rock climbing opportunities, and hiking trails, with the Summit Trail being the most popular activity for the majority of visitors. But the park also has some challenges. It's relatively small for its popularity, which means it can get crowded and overnight reservations can fill up quickly. Water is scarce, so summertime demand can exceed capacity on existing infrastructure. The parking areas can become congested, and due to the proximity of the headquarters to the highway, there may be queuing along FM 965 on peak days, which can be dangerous. There's also a lack of accessible amenities at the site, and due to the rugged terrain, TPWD staff spend a lot of their time on visitor safety, rescuing people who are lost or suffering from heat exposure. The goals laid out for the public use plan address the challenges of the existing site and aim to alleviate them through the design and distribution of amenities across the expanded property. The first goal is to celebrate Enchanted Rock as a cultural resource. The second goal is to expand accessibility across the site and be inclusive of different user types. The third is to provide a safe and functional experience for all visitors. The fourth is to preserve the natural beauty of Enchanted Rock and protect its ecological integrity for future generations. And the fifth is to enhance and develop the necessary infrastructure to support park activities and programming. Right now, the focus of Enchanted Rock is on the dome. With the expanded property, we would also like to highlight the rich diversity of natural and cultural beauty that complements the park we all know and love. So, let's go on a hike through the new acquisitions. Not surprisingly, the north and south properties are home to unusual and stunning geologic formations. But they also have areas with savannas that offer broad, sweeping views, often with the dome in the distance. In addition to the colorful lichen and moss found on the granite outcroppings, there is a diverse range of plant communities throughout the new properties, from oak mott's to mixed native grasses and succulents. Sandy Creek crosses through a part of the south acquisition, providing opportunities to explore its ecology. And there are several man-made ponds on both the north and south properties, some of which could be utilized for fishing or kayaking. Of course, the dramatic topography means that there are multiple high points with stunning overlooks that take in wide views of the Texas Hill Country and beyond. So, based on all of the visioning, site inventory, and analysis, we have developed a preliminary concept plan for review and comment. Before we dive into the enlargements, there are a couple of important elements of this plan that we'd like to draw your attention to. The first is that you'll see that we have relocated the main entrance and headquarters to the south property. This location will alleviate the congestion at the current entry and will help distribute visitors throughout the park. The second thing to note is that the southern property is host to the highest concentration of activities and amenities, and as you move north, the park becomes more remote, more rugged, and more wild. A hike from the southern trailhead to the high point of the north acquisition is approximately 10 miles one way. Zooming into the south end of the property, this enlargement shows the location of the new entry. Vehicular roads are shown in solid gray, and trails are shown as orange dashed lines. After driving into the site, you'll reach the new interpretive center. We've shown a small hiking loop interpretive trail adjacent to the new interpretive center. This trail takes advantage of some beautiful views of the dome towards the north. Moving north, we're showing a new overnight area and a parking lot that provides access to a trailhead. Northeast of the trailhead, we are proposing to retrofit an existing house into a discovery center, which would offer space for indoor and outdoor exhibits, play areas, and outdoor classrooms. As we move further north, there's a second overnight camping area proposed. This one is a short hike to the existing state natural area property. At the existing property, the amenities you find today will be evaluated and reimagined for where they are best located on the overall new property. Since the headquarters is moving to the south, we are proposing to retrofit the existing headquarters structure to serve as a camp store where visitors can pick up things like batteries or bottled water, or their I Hiked the Rock t-shirt before exiting the park from the existing site entry, which will become an exit-only road. There will be two access points to get to the north acquisition. One is a connecting trail near the Buzzard's Roost campsite. Here, we're proposing a hydration station so hikers can stop and refill before continuing further into the backcountry. The other entry is from FM 965 and will be accessible via gate code for visitors who have reserved this in advance. This entry will be a part of the initial public use phase of the project and will be open to the public later this year. From these access points, visitors can hike miles of trails. A new trailhead with a parking area will bring drivers further into the site to start their journey. A pond in the northeast part of the north property is accessible via trail from the parking area and will provide fishing opportunities. There are several areas where we are proposing backpack camping sites with vault or composting toilets, plus an area for group camping. This is your park. As a part of this initial public engagement, we are looking for feedback from you about what you want to see at the expanded Enchanted Rock State Natural Area. We're looking for your input on day use activities, overnight experience, site circulation, and what resources you want to learn more about and what is most important to you as a visitor. How would you use the park? We know we will have hiking trails, but are you interested in rock climbing, mountain biking, more opportunities for stargazing? Are you an avid birder? Or do you want traditional play areas within the park for kids? Are ranger-led programs a priority for you? Or would you rather have educational spaces where you can learn on your own? Would you be interested in taking a guided tour in an open-air vehicle that would provide wider site access and enable more users to experience a larger part of the park? Are accessible trails your top concern? Or would you want facilities for group events? Would you like to see a park store where you can pick up books on the local geology and camping supplies to aid your overnight stay? If you are staying overnight, what type of facility do you prefer? Texas parks offer a range from the most primitive, like backpack campsite shown on the top left, to something more refined like the cabin shown in the bottom center. Walk-in campsites are typically a short walk from a larger parking lot and provide a shade structure, picnic table, and fire ring. Drive-up sites include the same amenities but allow campers to park directly next to their campsite. Screen shelters provide protection from the elements but are unconditioned and do not include water. Cabins at Enchanted Rock would have electricity, HVAC, a small kitchenette with a mini fridge and microwave, but no running water. In terms of connectivity, what are your priorities for moving around the expanded park? Is drive-up access important to you? Would you be interested in an internal shuttle that could take visitors from parking areas to trailheads during peak visitation? Do you prefer that trails be the primary means of site circulation? Are you the most interested in robust wayfinding and educational signage? Or is improved adaptive services your primary concern? As we know, Enchanted Rock is home to some incredible cultural and natural resources. We'd love to hear which you'd like to learn more about: the geology, water conservation strategies, plant communities, Sandy Creek and its ecology, wildlife, vernal pools, or others. And lastly, how could we improve your visitor experience? Solutions for water scarcity, improved visitor safety, or opportunities for nature immersion? Please complete the survey to give us your feedback on all the elements listed above. We look forward to sharing the development of the public use plan with you in the spring.